My love for you is like an evil genie. So come on over, girl, and slob on. Oh, my, what? Is that an ancient jewel of mystical powers? I'm gonna blow on it.
You blew.
I guess. Do you do wishes? Can you like help me write a pretty good song?
Is that your wish?
I mean, sure, yeah, I wish it.
Then you should know that my wishes mostly suck ass, and the only way you'll be able to write the song that I'm going to grant you is if you watch and explain all 4 Wishmaster movies.
Oh, crap!
Does the word dumbass mean anything to you?
Drunken Dune music.
Yes.
Fire titles. Ancient mystical ancient A hand grabs powders and pours things that coagulate into a red jewel thing of mystical ancientness. All right, hold up. Let's scientifically explain what Djinn are real quick.
I don't think you quite realize what you've got here.
A genie? Now, hold on a minute. Forget what our culture is made of the Djinn. Forget Robin Williams. Never.
So God made, I guess, light and earth and fire, but each had an unexpected side effect. Light pooped out angels, and the earth pooped out humans, and the fire pooped out Djinn.
Creatures condemned to dwell in the void between the worlds.
Now, the cool thing is, Djinn will grant you 3 wishes, but the uncool thing is, if you ask for 3 wishes, the entire Djinn race will enter Earthrealm and conquer us harder than Outworld after 10 straight Mortal Kombat victories. So there's only one takeaway from all of this.
Fear the Djinn.
Also, maybe stop creating elements, God. They keep pooping out random creatures. Like after you created water, did it poop out sharks and that's why we have Sharknadoes? You could have saved a lot of time and fulfilled so many more wishes by just creating the PS2 10,000 years earlier. Man, I should be God. Tithe my Patreon, mortals.
Show me wonders.
Anyway, fast forward from, I guess, the beginning of all creation to PlayStation-less 1127 AD Persia, where some king's second wish is essentially, show me some cool shit.
Astonish me, Djinn.
Because the man apparently doesn't even know he could ask for a PS2, I assume.
Show me wonders.
But let's just say that the shit that he is shown, it might be a little bit too cool. Dudes be turning to stone, xenomorphs be exploding out of tummies, faces be turning into trees, and everybody, they be tripping. Seriously, I'm just gonna assume that the reason Persia's no longer a kingdom is because all their ankles got sprained to hell. Oh, and also because everybody's skeletons kept popping out of their bodies and then killing other people. Persia, they really didn't have a chance. But like, where is your prince, Persia? Fighting that is literally your prince's entire job if my PS2 has taught me anything. A post-electrocution, Palpatine-ass-looking dude with a Nosferatu-ass-sounding voice is like, hey man, you weren't very specific with the coolness of this shit you wanted to see, and you clicked agree on the TOS, so if you want this to stop, you gotta make a 3rd wish.
I wish you weren't a liar.
Hold your tongue.
But live-action Jafar here is like,
No more wishes.
and so the guy doesn't, because hey, if you go to all the trouble of hiring your own wizard, you should listen to their advice, you know? You're not gonna hire a wizard and then not listen to them. They're not cheap. And so the Djinn gets sucked into the jewel that, oh right, the wizard guy has in his hands.
Do it.
So I guess he's defeated for now. Fast forward to present day, but still pre-PS2 America, where pre-Burns Freddy Krueger attempts to purchase some ancient mystical statue off a boat. Oh,
It's a miracle.
Unfortunately, the boat crane driver is drunk. And even worse, he's clumsy.
Jesus Christ!
Crane Boy fully kills a guy and is only able to muster like an ay, ay, ay kind of response. That They should have hired a union crane drunk. Other scab dock workers clean up the shattered statue, and one notices the ancient mystical jewel and pockets it because this is the worst shipyard of all time, which is to say, it's like literally any shipyard.
It's a miracle.
I guess Freddy blew all his money on the statue itself and couldn't shell out for some decent shipping.
I waited 10 years. Not just throwing it away on shipping costs.
Kind of like that time Dave bought a wife off eBay, but when it arrived, it was smothered in the bubble wrap. Yes, he still married her anyway, but always pay for premium shipping on high-end items, guys. That's the point of this movie, really.
Does the word dumbass mean anything to you?
Sorry.
Anyway, the second dock worker hawks his jewel to a pawn shop guy off screen, and that guy brings it to a place called Regal Auctioneers. They are psyched about it.
Wow, this is this.
I want to kiss it!
Although they need to test it to be sure it's as ancient and mystical and probably evil as it appears. More evil means more money, obviously, which is why I probably won't be able to afford Dave for much longer.
Tell you what, I want to have my best appraiser take a look at this.
That's the best I could do.
Sure.
Elsewhere, these two sweaty bodies challengers each other all over a tennis court. The boy, Josh, asks the girl, Alex, on a date, but she friend zones the hell out of him.
You are my best friend. Do you know how hard a friend is to
Show me.
He's like, well, think about it. And then he blasts some butt grunge and peels out of the parking lot like he's late for a Creed concert. Turns out Alex works at the auction place and she's their resident jewel observer. And she's like, this thing is pussy-rific.
Oh, that's a good word. Oh, I love that word.
But she still needs to do more tests. Like, for example, she needs to blow it some.
Oh, yes.
That is salivating.
For science. I'm starting to think I accidentally downloaded the Wishmaster porn parody, but it's fine. Let's just keep going.
Yes.
Unfortunately, she blows it too hard and it seems to awaken something inside it, as is often the case with these things. There are many such cases. Anyway, this puts many confusing thoughts in her mind, so she brings it to Josh for him to blow it even harder with even more science.
There's something inside of it?
Right.
Yeah, I just looked at the DVD sleeve and it says Blowmaster. That's my bad. That's on me.
What?
I'm just gonna keep rolling though. And unfortunately, too much of a good thing is still too much, and the damn thing explodes.
Oh, it's mommy!
And out crawls a weird, freaky-ass baby monster, which doesn't usually happen after a blowing, but I mean, accidents are possible.
That'd be great. Can you do it now?
Hold on.
Anyway, the baby wriggles right up to Josh and is like, I bet you wish you weren't in so much pain. Don't you wish that, wish boy?
I can ease your suffering.
And he's like, yeah, sure. But apparently everything Mr. Djinn does is monkey paw coded. So Josh goes from friend zone to dead zone.
As you wish.
The Djinn, I guess, feeds off the aura given off the wish, which allows him to stand upright and sport a very perky Djinn butt. I'd like to curl my paw around that butt, let me tell you.
All you have to do is ask.
He also grabs the now kind of blasted jewel for later.
This is the Djinn that was captured in the jewel 1,000 years ago or something?
Yeah, he comes out as a weird, freaky-ass little evil baby, but once he convinces the guy to do a wish, he gets stronger and his butt gets plumper.
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Oh, right, okay. Obviously.
I feel like an idiot for even asking.
I'm sorry, did you not read history? Elsewhere, Alex coaches middle school girls basketball in a sports bra because she likes to live dangerously. And for whatever reason, she feels Josh's life force slip away and she's like, okay, that's the end of practice. Great work, everybody. Oh man, that takes me back. My wrestling coach used to let us go home early when he sensed a panda had died somewhere in the world. He'd go, we're done for the day. I'd be like, was it another panda? And he'd be like, yes. Also, I'm gonna molest somebody. I don't know if you remember that, but that's what my wrestling coach ended up doing.
Really? That was very good.
Alex runs to the crime scene to check on, oh my God, what was his name?
Josh.
Hey, lady! Yeah, I take it you knew the, Josh.
Another case solved by you.
Right, Josh. Yeah, he's dead as shit.
He was my best friend.
Oh yeah? Then why did you let him blow up an evil jewel all over himself? Good friends don't let good friends blow themselves to death. That's true.
I've had to pull you out many a time. No, Jordan.
Oh. This zipper's stuck. We're gonna have to rip it.
Alex heads home to talk to the secretary from her work who, twist, is also her sister, and double twist, they're both orphans because Alex was only able to save her from some fire back in the day.
I got you out. I didn't get mom out. I didn't get dad out.
Total lack of work ethic. I make my kids practice carrying me out of burning buildings every month. I'm not going out like a chump like Alex's parents. Apparently, though, Alex had a whole breakdown about the dead parents thing.
The therapy, the nightmares.
The acne, self-consciousness, the erections.
You really got to stop blaming yourself or the whole f***ing thing is going to start again.
But Alex is like, nah, I think I'm fine. Except that night, she has a tennis nightmare, which is the worst kind of nightmare you can have.
Ready to play, Alex?
Elsewhere that night, a window pervert gets into an argument with a pharmacist. Do they know each other? Is this a common thing?
Don't tell me how to run my business. You're a bum.
I have no idea. But the pervert is so upset, he literally wishes to the Djinn, who he mistakes for a fellow pervert, which fair, that the pharmacist would
Get cancer and die.
And actually, there's no real monkey paw situation here. That's pretty much what happens.
Was it worth it?
Hell yeah, it was. A++, would wish again. Now nobody can tell this guy not to pervert windows. This is exactly what the American Revolution fought for. The rights of window perverts. I think this Djinn might actually be a patriot. Also, yes, the Djinn clarifies that he feeds on wishes. That's how he gets stronger. He also clarifies that he's just a regular guy for real, and he likes smoking ciggies just like all the boys do. He's chill. He's a chill guy. He's a chill Djinn.
Something which feeds on.
The next day, Alex tracks down the dock worker so she can track down Freddy so she can ask him the question that's been on everybody's minds.
Was it bejeweled?
He's like, no, I actually used to be addicted to Candy Crush. Weird thing to bring up, but also, hey, did you know that there weren't any jewels on the statue I bought and then smashed right on top of my assistant?
We are talking about Ed Finney, your assistant, right?
Oh, yes.
Let me just say, if the statue hadn't become bloody powder, I would have put it in my lost god room here because it was fashioned in the shape of some Zoroastrianism god named after the most godlike of cars.
Mazda.
Or like Zoomastrianism. Anyway, that's some backstory. I guess, do you think anybody is messing around with dead bodies at the nearby school of medicine?
What the
That's exactly what Mr. Djinn is doing, because we already established that he doesn't let people tell other people not to be perverts wherever they want. But his messing is pretty gross.
Am I to understand this is not something you wish to see?
Very poor choice of words.
So Djinn blinds him and then sticks the dead guy's face on his own face, which sort of melds there, because like wish powers, I guess, maybe. Honestly, not sure what that has to do with his theme, but it is very useful since walking around looking like you electrocuted yourself in the face tends to draw a lot of unwanted attention.
Good.
My thing is I grant wishes, I get power from wishes. Also, sometimes I put faces on my face and then I become that. Oh, hey, Alex experiences this somehow. Once Alex recovers,
Oh, that's good.
she visits some professor of folklore or something
Okay, good.
that Freddy says might know some things, and yeah, she actually knows a ton of things about genies.
The Djinn was neither cute nor funny. It was something else entirely. Forget Barbara Eden, forget Robin Williams.
Everybody prefers the 2017 Aladdin. Also Kazam. Oh, and don't forget about Aladdin 3477.
Oh, I'm
That's basically all the professor reveals. We already knew effectively all of that from the opening text crawl, but I think the movie wanted to make it clear that this was a copyright-free genie slasher parody movie, like all those recent Steamboat Willie and Winnie the Pooh movies made for like $13 and the crew's last ounces of self-respect.
Hello, everyone.
That's what this is.
Wow.
I'm glad you approve.
Alex heads home to read a few more expositional rules just so we understand what we're dealing with.
The Djinn must first charge the stone by gathering
2 penises!
And if this movie came out like 2 years later, she'd be Googling all that shit like in every modern horror movie ever, but it doesn't. So now we're here. Do you think that the enshittification of Google was orchestrated by some council of mythological creatures to make researching ways of killing them that much harder? I mean, I think so.
I never heard that. What I heard was
Sweetened fables.
Anyway, apparently what's revealed is that Djinn can't do anything unless it is wished and within a meager production budget.
the sole limitation to the Djinn's power is that it may only be used in the service of wishes.
Because they suck!
And they also need to charge up their magic stone with one-off wishes from random window perverts and med students before eventually finding the person who freed them in the first place and making them do 3 wishes so that Djinn and then his Djinn buddies from the Djinn joint can tear through the veil and conquer Earth like so good. So basically the movie's taken over 30 minutes to explain something that the Power Rangers nailed in like 5 seconds.
After 10,000 years, I'm free! Time to conquer Earth!
Okay, good.
But okay, Mr. Djinn is making great use of his new face and he's blasting magic money into girls' cleavage and making her beautiful forever by turning her into one of Dave's women. Look, I'm just gonna say it. These wishes, they suck ass. This genie blows, dude. Try asking him for some sugar and he'll probably give you diabetes. I bet if you asked him for a friend, he'd give you Dave.
Sorry.
Mr. Djinn heads to the police station to learn where Alex lives because like all 17 of my Gen Z viewers, he doesn't know what phone books are, I guess.
What the hell makes you think I'd give you her address?
And when the cop won't give up her address, Djinn convinces him to admit that he wishes this crazy dude here would stop getting away with murder all the time and get caught in the act for once, which of course causes that crazy guy to in very lucky and fortuitous public. Many witnesses, thank God. They don't all have jaws, but they do have proof. Feels like the one shooting would have been enough, but these wishes, he's making them always extra spicy. At least they managed to stop him before he killed literally 1,000 Philistines with that jawbone. Anyway, Djinn grabs Alex's business card during that blessed chaos. He heads to Regal Auctioneers, but is stopped by a guard with a beard I can only describe as unorthodox.
I don't think so, asshole.
You're right. It's way worse than that. Djinn tricks him into wishing he became glass that Djinn can walk through and explode. I mean, I will say, honestly, that's what I always wish with my wife, but she's always too busy or has a headache or whatever. She never turns me into glass and walks through me so hard I explode.
And that is something I would love to see.
Djinn now chats with Alex's boss, who's immediately convinced that this random dude can make all his wildest dreams come true. So Djinn's like, what'll it take for you to give me Alex's home address?
Well, I'm not a greedy man. How about $1 million?
And the Djinn is like, done. But of course, he'll get $1 million in life insurance from his mom, who explodes.
Forgotten to fill in the beneficiary.
How silly. It's my son, Nick.
Except, wouldn't it just be easier to magic him up some money? Like, how much paperwork did you have to supernaturally conjure, process, and file for this to legally work? And wait, how does the boss think he's getting the money? Like, he clearly gave up the address, so did Djinn just sort of cryptically say, oh, it's coming. There's $1 million. It's on the way. Don't worry about it. I'm good for it. And then he's just like slowly walked out of the room, winking and thumbsing up. I'm gonna try that the next time I order a cheeseburger because apparently the boss was like, well, that's good enough for me. Like, it's gonna be so long before he actually sees that money. So what does he think the Djinn's plan is?
I don't think.
Clearly. But if a guy came in and was like, I'm gonna give you $1 million if you do something for me, would you just automatically be like, great?
No, this is why contract law exists, dude.
If he really thinks he can do anything and he trusts him so implicitly that he doesn't even need to have the money in hand, right, say $1 trillion, I don't know. That's way too large if he's a real person, way too small if he's a magic genie that can summon anything at all. I think it's so funny that this guy thinks this guy's good for it.
What is the Djinn's credits?
And even later is the guy like, I bet that guy, when he said $1 million, meant my mom would explode. Okay, so we're even. Not how I wished it played out, but I wasn't clear. Whatever, none of that matters. Let's do something fun.
Basketball?
Exactly. Except, oh no, Magic Jensen is there and learns about the professor lady, and he's so pleased with himself that he fondles his jewels on the couch, which obviously causes everybody's encountered throughout the movie to lose their minds. I mean, I'd be pretty mad if I saw a guy fondling his jewels on a couch, so I get it. Then Djinn calls Alex and is like,
only you can end their pain, Alexandra.
Well, or you could stop fondling yourself, Mr. CK, but sure. This is like if Smokey the Bear walked around the woods with a leaking gas can and lit cigarettes. It's like, this is your fault, kids.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Smokey the Bear is like pouring gas on like a kid in a sleeping bag with smoking a cigarette. This is your fault.
This is your fault.
Only you can prevent this. Smokey, no! Anyway, Alex rushes to the folklore lady house to give her, I don't know, theory, I guess, on how the stone is charged.
It's charged with people's souls.
Makes sense. I thought it was Gatorade, but your theories is, that's also a good theory. I don't know how we test either of our theories. I'm pouring Gatorade on it. You're trying to like shoot your soul at it.
This is the 20th century. Don't you think all that sounds a little unlikely?
But does it matter if the Djinn is charged? I mean, other than that, I guess it sucks to be transformed into a mannequin or a med student. I guess he needs to be a certain level of charged before he can confront the original Awakener, but why? Why not just run straight to Alex and be like, don't you wish 3 or more things were different about your life? Feels like it'd be pretty easy to do.
Would you like something to drink, by the way?
No.
I don't know. Now the folklore lady is skeptical that Alex is actually dealing with an evil genie, which to be clear, like America's civil rights, totally exist, but just probably not at this moment.
They certainly existed.
No, they were just here.
Alex quickly realizes though that the folklore lady is the Djinn because she's just so damn polite.
Would you like me to put the heat on?
No, just please continue.
You freak, bitch!
She's like, don't you wish you had a drink? Or wish for me to turn on the heat? Or wish for just one more season of Mindhunter? And Alex is like, I don't wish for any of those things. Are you wearing a face that isn't your own? And the Djinn's like, oh, he got me. Don't look at the body though, I really made a mess of the face cutting. I'm a real sloppy genie. I'm sorry.
Messy.
That's why whenever someone is suddenly nice to me, I punch them in the neck. I haven't run into any Djinn since I started doing it, so I think the results speak for themselves.
Why do you keep trying to do things for me?
Oh, by the way, it's technically legal that he killed Folk Lady because she wished to be killed once he showed her his true face, or she read the screenplay or whatever.
I merely asked her if she wished to be released from her fear.
Enough fluffering. Make your wishes. She's like, well, I won't say it, but if you shot yourself in the head, that'd be really cool to me personally. And the Djinn is like, see, this one's on the house.
I'll give you one free wish.
Pow! He doesn't die because, as we all know,
That which is eternal cannot die.
Great.
yeah, it can only be trapped inside a jewel forever until blown awake. That's in the Bible, or in the Zoroastrian Bible. Jesus Christ, I can't say it. Oh, okay, so she's going to start wishing with a real non-specific one.
I wish to know what you are.
His name is John C.
Do these people not have a list of lawyer-vetted genie wishes ready to go just in case? Like, for example, I, the undersigned, do declare I wish to see that booty shake unequivocally, unilaterally, in a manner that is arousing to my person, specifically, see subsection, my anaconda don't want, but yet does no bodily damage to my person or cause negative effects upon my mental state. The shaking will commence immediately and resolve peaceably at the end of 15 minutes of consecutive movement. You agree to resolve any disputes arising from or relating to this agreement through binding yourself into a jewel for all eternity. That's just one of like 319 I can choose from. They're ready to go. If I meet a genie, I'm gonna get so many booty shakes.
45 minutes if you wish for that 3 times in a row.
Honestly, after 15 minutes, I'm like, I get it. I like it. Don't get me wrong, but also like, I feel like the game's on soon, and it's just like, I can't watch a butt shake for that long. Not really.
Good.
But Alex, the idiot, doesn't have any lawyer-approved wishes ready to go. And instead, she's like,
I always tell my girls to know their opponent.
so are you recommending all these 12-year-old girls, like, watch tape on the other teams? There's no tape of them. Nobody films middle school girls' basketball games. What do you mean, know your opponent?
Right, like get to know their fears.
Yeah.
Their deepest, darkest secrets.
What are you doing?
Granting your wishes.
And so she's warped into Jewel World, where Djinn is king, and a bunch of tortured people scream, and a genie dog chases her around trying to nip her something fierce. Which is actually very similar to most middle school girl basketball games.
He's right. Ain't no rules that the dog can't play basketball.
But also, why does the Djinn want out of this jewel? Honestly, this looks like a pretty sweet setup for him. I don't know, it's all unclear, but Alex is scared, so she completely burns her second wish on...
I wish I was in my apartment right now without you.
Couldn't you have at least added, like, while eating a really tasty grilled cheese or something? No imagination. I want to be back in my apartment, and I want to be the queen of Earth.
I wish I was in my apartment right now with 2 penises.
Alex is now worried for her sister, and I'm worried that I will have to watch 3 more of these. So Alex drives out of there like a genie dog out of hell. towards a party that Freddy's throwing to celebrate, I guess, dropping his expensive statue on top of his assistant, obliterating the resale value of each.
I think it's really, really cool, so I'll go like 125. I mean, that's the best I could do.
He must have really hated his assistant and been very opposed to Zoroastrianism as a religion. Oh, Zoroastrianism phobia. The last socially acceptable form of bigotry in the world. It makes you sad.
Ted, you can see right through me.
I destroyed the thing that I wanted and I killed a guy. Doesn't mean we can't have a party.
I hope you'll be well enough to attend my party. The one that was to celebrate my
dead assistant.
Let's party!
I think I may be busy.
She gets in the party pretty easily, but Djinn is forced to face off with Candyman himself, who does not back down.
You remember that when they asked how you lost your eye?
At least not until this strange lunatic is like, come on, don't you wish you could escape? And Candyman is like, I hate you so much, I've already threatened to pull out your eyeball for some reason, but I'm feeling really vulnerable right now, so yes, I wish my career had taken a different path. And Djinn is like, wordplay, bitch! You're in a straitjacket in a water tank.
What the
And this is the biggest stretch of any of these bullshit wishes so far. Like, we're talking Mr. Fantastic level shit. So Djinn walks inside and is like, hey, Freddy, what's going on? And Freddy's like, oh, nothing. I just wish that this party would be remembered for centuries.
God, how I'd love to host a party like that.
If that's what you want, you should have gotten a bounce house. There's no party that's going to be remembered for centuries without a bounce house. Like, already you're way behind the ball. And Djinn is like, your wish is granted. Arby's is now catering and everybody's going to their fancy pants and it's going to be horrible and make the history books as the infamous brown party.
Most of us just our pants right in front of everyone.
We're just trying to find a place where they could.
God, how I'd love to host a party like that.
Also, I'm going to make everything explode and become insane, and also the piano is haunted. And okay, I'll admit, even without a bouncy house, this party goes hard. Alex is attacked by statues and Freddy pukes monsters at her, and then she's attacked by more statues and also a painting until eventually she ends up in the Lost Gods room where Djinn has stuck her sister in a painting because he's a
vicious son of a bitch.
But like, how? Did she wish for that? I mean, if Titanic had been released, she could have been like, God, I wish somebody would draw me like one of their French girls, but it hasn't been released. So I guess it was something else.
Oh, God.
But Djinn is like, all right, Alex, let's go ahead and make that last wish. And when she hesitates, he's like,
all right then.
It. And burns the painting, which sucks because like her parents burned and now her sister's burning? No good. Quick, wish for free therapy.
I will not wish.
But then wait, Alex remembers some more stupid advice she gave her middle school girls basketball team about needing to calm your mind.
And that's when you need stillness, not in your body.
Before realistically you huck a ball into the bleachers, because I mean, we're talking about middle school girls basketballers coached by a short white jewel appraiser.
Wow, look at her go!
I imagine that the majority of their games are scoreless, but she takes her own advice.
I wish.
Yes.
I wish.
Wish on, child.
Oh my God, spit it out.
I wish Mickey Torelli hadn't been drinking on the job 2 days ago.
Ooh, checkmate, Djinn. If that dumbass wasn't drunk, then none of this would have happened. Get your tight butt sucked back into your jewel, bitch.
Don't break my butt! Don't break my butt!
Time is folding in on itself. We're back at the original statue scene now, and I will say, although the crane guy isn't drunk, he still sets his coffee on extremely sensitive and valuable equipment. I don't think it'd be that crazy to monkey paw Alex's wish into being like, okay, sure, he's not drunk, but he's still incompetent or clumsy or some other thing that had caused the statue to flatten the assistant like so much annoying pudding. Or maybe he's actually better when drunk. He's like, I drive cranes better while drunk, actually. But none of that happens, so yay, everything's fine. And in fact, Josh is alive again, so Alex agrees to go on a date with him, and he's like,
Are you all right?
Because why would anybody date Josh? But she responds only with a sensual, I'm gonna turn you into glass and then explode you type wink. No, and to be clear, the jewel is now still in the statue, and the Djinn is in the jewel, and the heart is still inside the Djinn, and it grew 3 times over the course of this movie. Maybe. Hopefully Freddy doesn't try to blow anything. Buck runs crud out! Okay, I think I get it. I wish I never drank any beer ever so that my mental faculties would be so good that I would write a good song.
As you wish.
What?
Say it. Say what it is.
It's Djinn. So clever.
Like, I'm a Djinn and that's Djinn.
Works on so many levels. Oh, editing this video is taking forever and I'm getting so hungry. Oh, I want food. I want food.
Did you say you wished for some food?
No, dude, I specifically did not wish for food. I know you always give these weird ass downsides. I'm just gonna order Factor. It'll be fine.
I bet they have a lot of downsides too. I mean, who wants to eat frozen crap?
No, it's not frozen, it's fresh. See, that's the thing. They don't have any downsides, okay? That's the whole deal. Why do you look like crap?
You're not the only one who blew on my jewel, dude. I got a lot of people to get to, and my son has a tennis match later, okay? I'm running a little behind.
Boom, a whole ass meal. Just like that.
Oh, that was actually like really fast.
Yeah, I know. My wife and I are trying to hang out more and we run now once a week and it's hard on that night in particular to like go get a bunch of food, prepare the food, make the food, clean up after the food with all the kids and getting them to bed and all that stuff before we can run. So it's really, really nice to just have a meal that we can make in like 2 minutes.
What if I just want to eat something more than dinner?
They've got all kinds of stuff. They have snack stuff. They have breakfast stuff. They even got juice, dude.
Actually looks kind of good.
Telling you, man, you should get in on this. All you got to do is go to factor75.com and use promo code 50breeding at checkout to get friggin' 50% off your first order plus free shipping.
Wait, is that promo code all caps?
Yeah, it does need to be all caps.
Do I have to say, is it really breeding?
Yeah, it does need to be breeding. It always needs to be breeding.
So you're saying all I have to do is go to factor75.com and use promo code 50breeding at checkout for 50% off my first order plus free shipping?
Taters are particularly good.
All right, well, you go back to it, I guess. Oh, forgot my socks.
Gonna give me some chicken. Gonna put it in my mouth.
You got a boyfriend, you slide down.
All right, so starting with the second movie, Wes Craven took his name off the franchise, which I assume was because the sequels were all so good, he was afraid they overshadow his other work.
Get out of here.
That's a smart move. Wes is like, it's getting too powerful.
He wished for Wishmaster to become so good.
That's the monkey paw. He's like, I want to be known for Red Eye.
Red eyes, red eyes, red eyes. What a treat.
Okay. I trust you.
Holler out if you like the movie Red Eye.
We open on the Mazda statue and slowly pan down to see his thick... Oh, no. Oh, man. We pan off to look at some kind of sexy paintings. Oh, my God, they're being stolen. Art theft is the worst type of theft because it steals sexy beauty from the world. Fortunately, these three thieves aren't exactly getting recruited for Ocean's 14. In a shootout with the guards, the jewel gets blasted off the statue and scooped up by one of the thieves. Then the jewel stops a friggin' bullet because these security guards, they're not giving up. They must have a very generous compensation package plus dental. No one tries this hard at their job without dental. Well, until... Although also, if you're a security guard and you like blast a hole and blood all through the Mona Lisa, you're probably getting fired. They don't want you to like destroy the artwork.
I think we're gonna have to let you go.
Anyway, the girl thief who owes her life to smuggling an ancient mystical jewel, maybe literally inside of her bra, is sad. Because her crap-ass boyfriend thief didn't stuff anything ancient nor mystical into his bra.
Get out of here.
She's not sure she should.
Go!
Get out of here!
Okay, fine. Sobs. She leaves the jewel and that goes crazy. And here we go, a Djinn, as it poops out yet another malformed Djinn who's like, hey, buddy.
I can end your pain. Would you wish that?
The guy's like, yeah, I wish.
I've never been born.
And then he sort of Benjamin Button speed runs his entire life, and that's it. Nothing at all seems to change. The girl even remembers her crap-ass dead thief boyfriend, so in what way was he never born? If It's a Wonderful Life has taught me anything, it's that at minimum, this town should now have way more casinos and sad librarians than it used to. Hell, even the first movie suggests these kinds of wishes alter the sacred timeline. This actually ruins the ending of the first movie, because if the Djinn can just interpret wishes as widely as this without consequences, then he really could have made the crane operator spill his coffee or whatever and kill Freddy's assistant. Seriously, if he wasn't born, then the robbery that released the Djinn wouldn't have happened, and the Djinn would have lost like it did in the first one, but like in the first 4 seconds.
I was not never been born.
No. You were never born in the sense that you're dead right now and that's it.
But you're still born though.
No.
Legally.
You're poofed out of existence, so you weren't born. I guess it's like because he reversed and poofed, that's sort of like his physical body at this exact moment isn't born, but that's a real stretch.
That doesn't sound like anybody's enforcing these genie rules or Djinn.
I know, we need to poop out another element, to poop out Djinn cops, Djinn lawyers. The only actual result is, now we've got a more formed Djinn man kind of twerking his fine wet ass upright as the cops bust in.
I said freeze!
Under arrest for being too sexy.
By the time they see him, he's regained his human appearance from the first movie, but hey, how? Is that face just like in his inventory forever now? So we're saying that everything reset, but he still has his original loot? Did this movie just invent the concept of New Game Plus? And B, were there never any official complaints or cases opened in response to this particular face getting hacked off a cadaver? Do they just not worry about stuff like that in med school? Dave, you barely finished college. What do you think? What was your degree in? Film?
New media. I did hack off many faces for that degree.
That's fair. That's fair. That was more of like a minor. Yeah. Sort of an independent study.
What the is wrong with you?
Sorry.
Anyway, he's arrested and he claims that he personally did all the bad things like steal art and shoot people despite having no art and no gun and no talent.
Where's the gun?
I said I don't know.
You check your butt.
And the detective who interrogates him thinks he's lying and also gay, apparently.
You got a boyfriend, you slide down, you don't at you.
But he can't refute what he's saying because there's no evidence anybody else was there because the girl escaped and the boy got Benjamin buttoned into nothingness and right, there was an entire third thief that got shot and killed upstairs that the script entirely forgot about.
Where did she go?
I was working alone. What about the dead body upstairs? He's like, oh my God, I forgot.
You say you acted alone.
And I'm okay with that.
The whole movie is like, who's gonna remember the very first thing that happened immediately after? I did. Yeah, I remember. I was there 12 seconds ago. Maybe the cops just didn't go upstairs. There were a lot of stairs. And also, does this museum have no cameras of any kind? Are they on the honor system?
Questions! Answers!
You're right. I'm overthinking this. Wishmaster 2, evil never dies. Then the cop says what I always say when Dave sneaks into my house while I'm sleeping.
Get this all out of my face.
He puts his butthole in my face a lot. I hate it. But I can't say that I wish he'd stop because these movies have taught me better. Anyway, girl thief Morgana heads home to her sick-ass apartment just dripping with, I guess, stolen art, and she gets pretty sad. And also smashy. And also whiny. Because you committed armed robbery? God, why did you let my crap-ass thief boyfriend, who I shouldn't even remember and who killed a guy, die? Is there no justice in this cruel world? She's like, it's not even fair. Why would he die in the middle of a heist? It's like, because, what do you mean? That's the main place I would think somebody might die. In as justly a way as possible. This is bullshit. Furthermore, she's upset that Djinn Boy has taken the fall for her, but like, be thankful.
I don't believe this.
It wasn't even a good heist. 2 of you died, 2 security guards died, and the cool-ass jewel you grabbed broke, and then it birthed out a demon? I don't know what your payday score would be, but I'm thinking it's low.
Damn it! It wasn't supposed to go this way!
You couldn't even plan your bangs correctly, let alone a heist. Count your blessings and move on. But also Morgana is sad about the whole killing a guy thing.
I killed the man who shot him.
So she goes to Mass to talk to her old boyfriend, Father Greg.
Is there a point to this?
Nope. Next scene.
Is that what you came here to tell me?
Not really, no.
Morgana does a quick zap search for Persian mythology so she can exposition some of the lore we already know and don't care about.
A horror monster was also known as
John C. Okay, seriously, is doing a web search about some ancient evil in a horror movie an existing TV trope? Because if not, I want to coin that and officially name it breeding law. Anyway, Father Greg busts in and is taken aback by Morgana, and she's like,
Never seen a girl without her makeup before?
And if he hasn't before, he still hasn't now, Morgana. You're objectively wearing a lot of makeup. Why did you say that? I'm not like a makeup expert, but it's eyeshadow. It's very obvious.
You have to confess. It's your only way to find peace.
No time, Father Greg. I need to find this Djinn, I guess.
I gotta find out who this guy is. Get him out of my life.
He isn't though.
Anyway, Morgana is convinced it's a Djinn because they never found my crap-ass thief boyfriend's body. So, I mean, I think that means a Djinn did it. Or it's bears, but I'm leaning Djinn. They never found my boyfriend's body, so it's probably an evil genie that took him.
Kind of the first thing I blame it on anything.
I'm like, where are my keys? Was there an evil genie in here? I mean, maybe, but I think we could Occam's razor that down a couple of notches first. Yeah.
I got this flash of this hell and this thing. This Djinn.
I was looking for the damn car keys.
Speaking of, Djinn is in jail, but his cover is immediately blown.
Oh, you're a genie, huh?
Yes.
Right to jail.
Fortunately, the guy who discovers him words his wish very poorly.
I wanna walk right through the bars, man.
Djinn is then accused again of being gay.
Who you talking to, you
What about him seems gay? The fact that he smiles a lot, offers to fulfill your every desire, somehow forces your incompetent lawyer to literally himself? Man, if that was the case, I wish Dave was gay. He looks so ugly when he doesn't smile.
Oh, God damn, what was that?
Morgana arrives at the prison to chat with Djinn using the prison phone thing, and this conversation, like virtually every conversation in this movie, absolutely drowning in conversations, goes nowhere and says nothing.
That's no good.
No, it is not.
Look, you're talking in circles. I can't follow you.
You're right.
Also not good is this big bad prison guy who comes up to Djinn and just conversations the hell out of him.
My piece, my slice, my big.
He doesn't like that Mr. Djinn's out here fulfilling everybody's wishes. He wants a cut, specifically of drugs that he assumes Djinn and or producers of this film have. Which, yeah, it's a good guess, because I mean, if a guy with that smile was running around a prison telling people he could make all their wishes come true, I too would assume that he was smuggling an entire pharmacy up inside of his butthole.
See, you've been spreading your
butthole
around my house. Yes.
Of course, what he actually says is that he wants to get
tore up from the floor up.
Which Djinn translates to mean he wants to get kicked a bunch by prison ninjas.
That's how hard you can hit me? Bam, bam!
Because of this, Djinn is thrown in the hole for a week, which is like the jewel, but for humans, because you can't just be going around fulfilling wishes in some nebulous way that nobody understands. But obviously that did nothing to dampen his spirits. So now he conversations with Father Greg via prison phone because
I'd like to get my hands on that cute little ass myself.
I'm a nice man.
You won't succeed.
Oh, okay. I guess I see what everybody's talking about. So Father Greg hits him with a
"Be gone, Satan."
But he's not Satan. He's Persian. Maybe. Either way, it, like the plot, doesn't work.
I think you have your demons mixed up, Father.
I'm a nice man.
Then Djinn kills a guard, despite there being a wonderful opportunity for some sort of insane dancing scene.
I wish I could slow dance with you for 1 minute alone.
You have to buy me dinner first.
And like in general, he's not really misinterpreting wishes in clever ways this time, so much as ignoring what they say and then just murdering them outright. Very cool. Also, he cuts off this dude's face, which I guess makes the Djinn's entire body and skin color change. And if he could do that, then he should just take Morgan Freeman's face. Then everybody would trust him and listen to him.
No shucking, no jive.
Just like that.
But then he and a happy little Russian weirdo walk out of the prison via Russian wish.
Yes.
Elsewhere, Morgana determines that the reason Djinn willingly sat in prison for so long and why he hasn't yet come for her is because this time around, he needs to first acquire literally 1,001 souls, which takes a lot of time and tons of conversations about nothing.
1,000's a pretty big number.
Also, they all keep talking about a prophecy, and Djinn keeps being like, we gotta go fulfill that thing. It's not really a prophecy, it's just the basic rules of how the powers work. If they said, it is written that one day the Djinn will rule Earth by way of wish fulfillment, then okay, sure. But it's just a bunch of hypotheticals. That's something else entirely. Like, it's not a prophecy that if you put an entire Arby's menu in a blender and chug it, you'll yourself so hard you achieve orbit. That's just a scientific fact.
Upon the granting of the third wish, the Djinn may now bring forth his race into our reality and overwhelm humanity, as prophesied by the ancients.
Fulfill the prophecy.
But the part of the prophecy / just written rules Morgana really hones in on is how you gotta have a totally pure woman around to send the Djinn back into the jewel. And she isn't pure at all.
The book says he can only be returned to his own realm by someone who's pure.
Oh, girl, you nasty.
Our introduction to her was via multiple crimes, legal and cinematic.
You work on it from your end, and I'll work on it from mine.
In my own butt.
But maybe she can be. If she removes her nose ring and wipes off some of her makeup, which is another weirdly Puritan message after the first film's alcohol is bad sermon. But oh, that's not enough? How about if she hacks off her pinky ring? I guess that would make you pure? I don't know. What are you doing with that pinky?
Fingers and butts, dicks and butts.
All right. So I got a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, okay, she returns the artwork she stole. But boy, they really should invest some cameras in this place. Could have, I don't know, stopped the end of the world. But I guess the honor system did technically work out, so I don't know, who's to say? Also, wait, when did Freddy sell the statue to this museum or whatever? Did he not like it anymore? He had a whole ass lost gods room with a pedestal waiting for it. If that ain't just a powerful metaphor for consumerism or materialism or, you know, something powerful.
Jesus Christ!
Anyway, Morgana and Father Greg learn that the juice is loose, along with a happy Russian, but fortunately, Father Greg is like,
I used to hang out this club, Siberia, Club Siberia.
I bet he's there, but let me tell you, I do not think that Father Greg used to go to this club. It's dark, the patrons all look like J.D. Vance, and everybody speaks Russian without subtitles.
No, извините, господин Pushkin.
You speak Russian?
No, I do not. Also, everybody here is in the Russian mob. I think the priest just made it up to sound cool, like when I tell people I put 20% more carburetor in my car, so they think I'm a real Fast and Furious style gearhead. He's like, oh yeah, I used to go chill at this Russian mobsters only club. Did you, Father Greg? Oh yeah, I used to go hang out there all the time. It's the worst club ever. It's dark and full of people who only speak Russian and are criminals.
Yeah.
This party is amazing.
Anyway, Djinn Man decides to, for whatever reason, get rid of the head Russian boss by tricking him into swapping heads with his worst enemy.
I want his head. Consider it done.
And I guess that by default makes this dude the new Russian kingpin or whatever.
Ha ha! Now I am the boss.
Number one.
Well, if them's the rules.
Man, Russian mob succession rules, they're a little rudimentary, to be honest. This is why I'd never join a gang without a talent show electoral process.
You made it. Suit up, you're on the team.
Number one.
But Djinn isn't happy because he's still 800 souls short. Oh, shit. Morgana runs right in and shoots him because this place also doesn't have any cameras or useful guards, but the bullet doesn't really affect him other than making him look all Djinn-y for a bit.
Evil never dies.
Hey, that's the name of the show.
So she runs away. Wait, why wasn't Greg with Morgana at the club?
There's no way to fight him.
For us, no. For God, through us.
Oh, because he was thoughts and praying. But okay, now they go back to the club and the Russian guy is like, I should shoot you so you can't make any wishes and thusly end the planet.
I show you how to save the world.
Doesn't work though. Guess we should focus on stopping the Djinn who needs how many more souls?
It's 800 more.
Oh, right, you said that. We should have literally so much time. Nope, he's at a casino where people be wishing like crazy. I mean, look at this guy objectively not rolling a 7.
Come on, 7. Come on, 7. Yeah!
But maybe he sold his soul to make the dealer terrible at reading dice. We don't have time to just roll these dice all day. We gotta keep moving with the production. So the Russian guy buys plane tickets for Morgana and Father Greg to fly out there and defeat the Djinn by saying an incantation of some kind at him.
The woman pure of heart takes the light of God unto her soul and spoke the words,
I'm a nice man.
Except twist, actually the Djinn is the one who bought those tickets.
Both tickets will be waiting at the airport.
Which doesn't change anything outside of maybe stealing the mob guy's mile points, but still, that's a twist. I didn't know he did that.
This is it, Gregory. Do you really think we can do this?
You're positive the incantation will work?
What else have we got?
Oh, nothing really, except engorged genitals.
Oh, yeah, Daddy!
What else do we have? Oh, let me tell you, Father Greg, I'm no longer an ordained pastor. I assume. I haven't checked. Do those things lapse if you no longer work for the sponsoring church? And if you hang out with Dave, I assume just being within 10 feet of Dave revokes any sort of ordinations. And I also realized that we're working on Zoroastrianism rules, but if you need to be extra sure that you're pure, should you really seduce a Catholic priest right before you leave to fight the not quite literal devil? I know you took out your nose ring, but maybe keep it in your pants for another 24 hours just to be safe?
I really don't think this is the way to heaven.
Don't be too sure. Chill out, dude.
Is Greg Dick really worth the potential end of everything as we know it? I doubt it. This isn't Blowmaster 2, erections never die. Maybe it is, honestly. I watched all those, I watched all these, I saw no difference.
magic.
But okay, now they're in Vegas or wherever, and people are winning like crazy, which sort of makes it seem like the Djinn's now granting implicit wishes. And if that's the case, all sorts of weird should be happening. You know, somebody's having intrusive thoughts about putting all their chips in their butts and pretending they're piggy banks, or like swallowing the roulette balls like hungry hippos. Unless we're supposed to believe that Djinn's been walking the floor all day getting people to wish at him one at a time, which would take freaking forever. Even if every conversation took a brisk 60 seconds, that's still over 13 hours of continuous talking. Even I don't have that kind of stamina.
Okay.
Also, it feels like at least one pit boss would have said something. I don't know. Djinn sucks in all the souls he's collected, so he's fully juiced for the impending end game. I don't think you understand how many people 800 people is. This casino would be bankrupt in 5 seconds. If even 50 people were winning all that they wanted.
Should have been like a mail-in scam or something targeted at old people.
Do you wish to not get eaten alive by a liberal? And they're like, absolutely, I wish that. That's my greatest fear.
Well, now there's a company that offers coverage against the unfortunate event of a robot attack.
Is that what you have in mind if your kingdom comes?
Anyway, Morgana attempts to trick the Djinn with a bunch of wishes, but the rules have gotten very, very semantic. He can't be wished away.
A wish cannot change that which is eternal.
Evil, as a concept, can't be wished away.
Evil is the half of a perfect sphere.
He can't be wished into the stone.
Any wishes pertaining to me are circumscribed by the prophecy.
And wishes are not valid in Alaska and Hawaii?
I see you've done your homework.
I bet Will Smith would have let Morgana do one or more of these things. But actually, these wishes were really more of a ruse, so Father Fast Fingers Greg could grab the stone.
That was fast.
Nib Sugarath by him.
And oh,
gotcha.
They're blasted to his world, complete with a Greg on a cross, which is just about the most unpleasant thing in this entire series. Nobody wants a shirtless, heretical Greg. Somebody throw a tarp over him or something. Morgana saves him with wish number 1, except now he's a dead Greg on a ground, which is only a slight improvement.
Go yourself in hell.
Jesus Christ!
I'm not saying I'm like super ripped or anything, but I'm also not in Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies. If I was in Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies, I'd be doing a lot of sit-ups. If I knew I had to be a Jordan on the cross, that's my great dream, is to get cast in a Marvel movie, just so I have an excuse to get super ripped.
Fulfill the prophecy.
Ugh! Where am I? Who am I? Anyway, Djinn brings Morgana back to the casino where he just massacres everybody.
First the run on the house. Now 200 people drop dead all at once?
Okay, so he's still 600 people short. Even if the boss is making an extremely rough estimate, 200 is really far away from 800. Maybe everybody in this movie just sucks at math as much as acting. Maybe the real monster is the public school systems not emphasizing STEM education. Whoa.
Wish I could see this nightmare come to an end.
Ooh, bad wish, because apparently that wording somehow gives the Djinn free reign to murder everybody in the building with poker chips and cards and craps, figurative and literal. I did not add noises to that scene. And also, this is the only NPC to survive the movie because her punishment was just having to poop out gold coins, which some might actually see as a blessing. I mean, look how relieved she is. Plus, I assume no wiping needed. Again, this isn't ironic or a play on words. The guy just spoke to the genie, which apparently gives them license to do whatever. Nobody said they wanted to poop out gold coins or anything even approximating that. Whatever. Eventually, finally, the boss is killed. But none of this phases Morgana. She's watching everybody get devoured by bugs and is like, I am unfazed. I don't know these people, and they're all probably degenerates anyway. Let them all themselves to death. What she does do is technically purify herself by wishing that dude that she shot to death in the intro was never actually shot to death in the intro.
I wish the man I shot was alive again.
But also kind of sexy.
But look, we already established that the Djinn grants wishes however he damn well pleases. There are 100 loopholes he could have used to get out of that one, like making the guard paralyzed or in a coma, which wouldn't exactly scream purity, but also that would make the movie longer. So thank God he doesn't do that. And also, I get that she returned the artwork, which you still go to jail if you bring the artwork back. It doesn't like erase it, but whatever.
We're cool, right?
I just wanted to see how it would look in my living room, but I don't like how it looks, so I'm giving it back.
But I was seriously considering purchasing.
I was. Yeah, I just needed to see it on my wall. And I knew you guys didn't like do loners. But are we to assume that this was her first heist ever? That would explain why they suck so much at it, but also she had sex with Greg, which can never be scraped out.
Don't be too sure.
Whatever, she does the incantation,
I'm a nice man.
which causes the Djinn to actually out all the souls he's apparently eaten, and then the Djinn gets sucked back into his jewel, and dirty old Greg is brought back to life, I guess. Then the Djinn is bitching to the camera inside the stone, and that's it. I mean, wow, what a film. Which was apparently all that Wes Craven said when he has to have his name taken off this thing. He's like, okay, that was a film. I do want my name off it. Let's never speak of this. Okay, let me very clearly state that I wish I wrote an amazing song without having to learn anything new or suffer any pain. And in general, I don't want any negative side effects. Or do you? Ah! What the hell? How did that affect my wish? How is that like helping me achieve my wish?
What wish?
My naughty little scientist.
Ah, fine. After a couple of seconds of boring statue eyes, we find ourselves watching this woman's badass dream.
Badass, 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 badass.
Cars are flipping and then exploding, and I guess all this badassery happened when she was a kid.
Daddy!
Buckle up.
Support my Patreon so I can create similar experiences for my kids. I don't want them to have dreams about us playing card games or something. I want them to have dreams about that time that we flipped a car.
Cool dreams.
Cool dreams.
Sick dreams.
My childhood was sick. But also, it's pretty expensive to flip and explode cars, I found. Also, it's pretty hard to flip a Mazda 3, I found. Anyway, she wakes up and heads to the roof to look for the rest of her shirt and underwear, and her boyfriend follows her to make sure she doesn't do something badass like swan dive off the roof.
Come on, you know better than that.
You're right. We all get less awesome in our old age.
It wasn't your fault.
Huh, right again. It's God's fault. Anyway, let's go back to bed after making lots of flirting, sucking in air noises.
Stop. My penis can only get so erect.
Ooh. Ooh.
Like Nosferatu.
Yeah. Turns out this girl named Diana, like the dead princess, is a teaching assistant that's struggling with her love of doing history things and her other love, which is banging sad, mopey Greg. No relation to the Greg priest. They were like, I love the name Greg. Can we use it again? Is anybody gonna be mad?
It just worked.
In the Wishmaster universe, the women love Gregs, okay?
Yeah.
They always love Gregs. It was a Josh in the first one that didn't work. Then we landed on Greg. That works.
It was so good. That was the best movie.
Yeah, so good. Wes Craven was like, I can't be associated with how good this is. Yeah.
Relax, brown eyes. You're in the lead.
So, one, does every Greg in this universe just suck?
The only thing I love is you.
And two, Greg's eyes are actually definitely more hazel than pure brown. So that's a point against you, Diana. But fortunately, you make up for it with extreme confidence in your pussy prowess.
Greg was just telling us how hard he'd been working on the pussy. When you're this good, they never wander.
Jesus Christ!
Sort of like how Dave can never keep the camera in focus, but is always bragging about how stiff his socks are.
What do you think?
Think I want a new boyfriend?
No, you don't.
I don't understand how that's a flex. Diana has a friend named Katie who's dating a dick guy who studies sex, maybe?
I pulled an all-nighter interviewing young horny chicks for my new psych paper.
On foot fetishes.
Yes, science!
I honestly don't know if that's a joke and he actually studies African-American lit or if his actual concentration is in that ass studies.
Do you have a death wish?
But anyway, Diana needs to set up some sort of history exhibit with her professor. So don't wait up, green/brown/poop eyes.
Just blow them off.
Very poor choice of words.
But the professor is running late, so she's like, lit by it. I'm just gonna start opening random shit. What she discovers is a knockoff Hellraiser box in the middle of a knockoff Hellraiser script that she pokes open to reveal that blasted jewel. Naturally, she rubs it and has bad visions. The professor walks in and is like, wow, this jewel is sick. Diana, we should share a sexy meal about it. She's like, whoa, I'm dating a Greg.
I didn't appreciate the insinuation, darling.
I would never date someone who dated a Greg. How dare you? And she's like, wow, I really boofed this up. I should leave before I offend the professor's penis further. Then the Wishmaster himself just kind of poof appears. And he reveals that he's gotten way shittier and Britisher over the last 2 years, which, to be fair, it's a little redundant.
I am honored.
He asked the professor for the location of his waker, but the professor is weirdly cagey about it.
I can't answer.
So the Djinn pivots to insults.
You reek of loneliness from your empty paw.
And also,
You suck.
This is big talk from a guy who's lived in a jewel for the past 1,000 years, but also like, oh, poor professor, it sounds like he must be going through a really rough patch. But then the Djinn clarifies that the professor raped students before, so I actually don't feel very bad for him anymore.
Jesus Christ!
Hey, Djinn.
Do your thing, cuz.
You leave me no alternative.
Professor is like, please don't tell anybody I'm a rapist. And the Djinn is like, okay, but you have to make a wish. And the professor is like, well, since I apparently reek of loneliness, can I have sex with a chick? Oh, no, wait.
2 chicks at the same time, man.
You leave me no alternative.
And to be clear, I want them to be in love with me. That's very important to me, a rapist.
I wish for the 2 women whom I find to be the most beautiful in the world to be in love with me.
Tell me about it, man.
Djinn is like, of course, my dude. I also enjoyed Office Space, and I appreciate the reference. I wish I had that red stapler. Am I right? Anyway, 2 chicks do actually come in and show how much they love this guy by sucking out his tongue and just straight up killing him.
True love.
How is that true love? Like, what are we twisting about his wish to mean that he gets murdered by them? That doesn't seem like a semantic misunderstanding like the last 2 movies. He's just like, you made a wish, and because of that, you will die in a way wholly unrelated to what you actually said. Like, why wouldn't you do something where they each loved him so much that they killed him in a fit of jealousy or something? Sort of seems like that defeats the entire purpose of this series. The only way this would make a little sense is if the Djinn were actually a Cenobite who doesn't actually know the difference between pleasure and pain.
This trinket of sensation you will now will be a delight.
And by this point, I'm like 100% sure that this started as a Hellraiser script. And if they rejected it from that film series, oh no, it's not gonna be good. It takes a lot to reject a Hellraiser script.
No.
From the franchise that infamously filmed and released a video in 6 weeks to make a copyright deadline. But anyway, he's loved all the way to death, so the Djinn steals the professor's face and hucks the body in a casket.
Return to sender.
Sick one-liner. Quick question. What does that even mean? Are you sending the guy to Persia? That doesn't exist anymore. It's called Iran. They're gonna send this right back to you, you idiot. The Djinn is really feeling his new body. He keeps blowing out air like he ate a bunch of hot wings. But has anybody ever wished for hot wings and then given him a few? If not, I get why he's so angry and evil. Actually, he'd probably just twist your wish and give you boneless wings. God, he ruins everything. You are so twisted. No!
Hear me out. I order boneless wings.
Will anyone believe you?
Elsewhere, Diana admits she hasn't told Greg that she loves him because lying is wrong. And also she gets sexy murder flashes, which is just a thing that happens to women of a certain age. She runs back to the lab to help the professor not be sexy murdered, I guess? Well, she doesn't find him, but she does take the wish box back to her dorm to learn things about it and exposition at Greg, who's just like, you need therapy.
The inscription on the box warns that it holds the secret stone of fire.
What I don't understand is your refusal to get help.
I found the stone, Greg.
To deal with your intimacy fears. Because how could anybody not love Greg? Greg is the best. You know this. Look at Greg. All Greg do is love you and make sad faces. Love Greg back. Once you go Greg, you'll never go Reg.
You're actually buying that?
But she can't because she's too busy being a
naughty little scientist.
Speaking of, Katie's boyfriend has apparently lost her.
Here, Katie.
Oh, okay, he found her.
Sucker!
And he rubs his nipple suggestively. Which I guess his studies show works because they have sex in the dorm lounge while a guy obliviously watches music videos at like 10 p.m. Oh, college. I assume I was 10 years old when this movie came out, and despite what you probably believe from these videos, I wasn't a child genius. You never went to college at all, but when I was in college, it's funny to think that you would go to like the dorm lounge to watch music videos at 10 p.m. at night. You got nothing else going on, my guy. Anyway, Djinn has learned Diana's name, I guess, so he asked this lady for a look at her transcript for honestly no reason that I can understand.
Miss Collins has made representations about her grade point average.
Turns out she's just a beautiful lying whore.
Why would he need to know her grades? Is he gonna suspend her from wish eligibility and bowl games if her GPA isn't high enough? Is he just trying to find ammo to use later for their inevitable wish session? Like, don't you wish you had a C+ or higher in that ass studies? I can make it happen for the small price of the end of the human race. But the lady is like, no, you can't do that.
You of all people know these files also confidential.
But unrelated thought.
I wish this whole mountain of files would go up in flames so I could get the hell out of here.
Because I'm apparently working on them in some nebulous way at again like 10 p.m. And he's like, sure thing, babe. So she's dead. But literally only a single ambulance and no fire truck shows up because look, we don't have a fire truck budget here, okay? Fire's just gonna have to go out on its own. We don't got the money for that, sorry. The two paramedics. We are not trained for this.
All right.
Diana saw this in a vision again, so she ran down to the scene of the crime to be like, oh, that sucks. I should do even more research about this. The next day, Professor Djinn is like, hey, students, did you know that Zeus was a djinn? And Helen of Troy screwed up a wish to a djinn?
We haven't covered the Djinn myth yet.
I think it's probably best that Diana slept through this particular lecture. These woke universities won't stop trying to convince us that Greek gods were actually djinn. That's not true to biology, Professor. Keep your gender ideology to yourself.
Rather pathetic specimen.
Instead, Diana randomly opens a book to the exact text from the intro of the first movie and hey, does this djinn have like 999 souls to go? Or is that a one-time thing? Either way, it seems like he should hurry up. Okay, so obviously that's no longer a thing. That was a bad idea in the first place. He wasn't even close to hitting his quota. But Diana runs to tell her friends what she has learned about djinns. She is very pissy about it.
This isn't a joke, Katie.
Like she won't take any from anybody not believing her findings, even though she's not even fully correct.
Barat is dead. I saw him killed last night. The djinn has taken over his body.
Like technically he stole the dude's face, but kept his own djinny body? Don't you remember the professor was hilariously returned to sender? And yeah, Diana is mean, but it works, I guess. And now they're doing more research? God, there's nothing more exciting than being prepared through intensive research.
You're sucking it up like a Hoover Deluxe.
All right, calm down, Dick. Speaking of, though the djinn goes to look for Diana at her dorm, he's directed to a different girl's dorm by the Dick instinctively operating on ACAB rules like the kid from Terminator 2. So the djinn goes to this girl's room where she's being sexy and he does nothing because
you got a boyfriend, you slide down, you don't at you.
Is there something that I can help you with?
this scene was just an excuse to see this girl in her underwear. Which, I mean, that's just good screenwriting. Most of writing a script is figuring out how to logically insert women in various states of undress.
But I will need some help. Turn around.
And they have really hit their stride here in Wishmaster 3.
This is the best one yet.
Oh yeah, daddy!
That's all a story is getting to those boobs.
Mm-hmm. That's all life is, really, if we're thinking about it. After that sexy and sophisticated detour, the Djinn now does, in fact, go to Diana's room, but he runs into Greg, who wishes the Djinn would leave him in peace.
If you wish it, I will leave you in peace.
I thank you.
And so the Djinn is forced to literally not do that in any way, shape, or form. He just threatens Greg and chases after him and clumsy-ass Diana. Like, at least try to cut him up and say, I leave you in peace. Yes, get out. It makes sense that the Djinn became a professor because he's just coasting on tenure at this point. Fortunately, Greg knows somebody who can help. Oh,
Father Norton, can we? Father Norton's a little tied up.
What is that?
It's a bug. The Djinn's now with the girl who was psyched that the woman burned in the transcript fire.
It's true. Deep fried and extra crispy.
And he promoted her.
I'm the professor's TA now.
No. Hey, real quick, why does she think she's here now in this sanctuary or whatever in the middle of the night bragging about being the new teaching assistant? Like, what was the Djinn's pitch to get her here? And how did it come up that
she wants to lose a little weight?
Which, okay, yes, the Djinn takes to mean that she should puke herself to death, which, damn it. I hate puke scenes.
Oh, I wish for no puke scenes in this movie.
I walked right into that one. Eventually, Diana is like,
stop her pain, please. I wish it.
Which is obviously not clear enough, so he kills the girl.
I stopped the pain. You have to be more specific.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
If you're gonna wait until after she's puked up everything she's eaten in her whole life, you can at least spend that time thinking about the best way to phrase your wish. Like, I wish she never had body issues while you, the Djinn, had taste buds inside of your butthole. What was the point of 58 research scenes if you don't know about the Djinn's Amelia Bedelia-ass wish fulfillment process? But to be fair, from here on out, we've completely given up on the entire underlying premise of these movies as the Djinn just walks up to Greg and lays his ass out. The whole thing is he's powerless unless a wish is involved. Did Greg wish to get his ass laid out by a moist dude? The Djinn just going around slamming dudes is like Jason Voorhees suddenly speaking in rhymes, or the Jaw Shark riding everywhere on a skateboard, or Leatherface skipping chainsaws for hammers. Sorry, the last one was a bad analogy, but the other ones were better. Like, you're giving up on the only literal thing that makes this series unique or even remotely interesting. The only way you could save this now is if
I wish to invoke the spirit of the angel Michael to help me stop you.
What is that?
it's a bug. Oh, twist. Didn't expect you to wish that, I guess. Anyway, Greg slurps up the angel power before Diana can, because, I mean, it comes with a kick-ass sword, and now he is literally the angel Michael, just trapped in a Greggy body, but with a digitally enhanced deep voice.
Who freed you from the pit, demon?
I mean, it's like Gregorian, right? So now we get the best fight scene of all time. Wow! Cool! Ooh! Oh, shit! Nice! Flip! Run away! Djinn runs after them, but also into the underwear girl from earlier, and just immediately breaks her heart. This actually happened to a girlfriend of mine once. Then Dave's brother dated her for 5 years, almost immediately after. God, you traitorous ass brother.
Homewrecker brother.
I'm just kidding. We broke up legitimately, but he was in there quick and then dated her for 2.5 times as long as I did. I'm over it.
I am so over it.
I'm so over it. Djinn then runs into the dick dude, who he again just straight up grabs and chokes. Again, defeating the entire damn point. It's not called Choke Master. Dave already copywrote that name for his solo videos. But the dick is like, and so yeah, he gets blown, but like hard. Wild.
Fascinating.
Then Katie walks in and doesn't see the dead dick.
You in there, Di?
But then does see the dead dick. I'm so glad we went on that journey with her. Then she's chased by the slow-walking Djinn. While that journey unfolds, Angel Greg's like, technically unholy or non-holy Greg is dead. Sort of, maybe.
I don't know.
And Diana's like, well, at least let me wipe the blood off your surprisingly hairy chest. And the angel is like, ouch.
Woman.
Would you stop with this woman thing?
He reveals only she can kill the Djinn, which then, like, what's the point of you? Like, all you're here to do is tell us that one fact and kill Greg? Actually, maybe that's worth it.
That's my line.
So Diana's like, well, give me your weeb anime sword. And how many malls did you hit to find that?
The sword of justice will be yours when you are ready.
But she accidentally activates the sword's burn setting, so her arm gets burned all to shit. Forcing the angel to blow it back to health, marking the first time a Greg touching a woman was a good thing. And man, you can take the girl out of the library, but you can't take the library out of the girl. She's still out here researching and learning, or at least she's still researching. Diane has a vision of Dick getting blown and is like, we gotta go stop that from happening. But Angel's like, whoa, you're not ready.
When you can hold the sword, you will be ready. Until then, we must evade him.
But Diana's like, I've never been more ready for a thing in my life. So she runs there to discover, oh, okay, we've splurged on a couple of cop cars now along with the ambulance. Then Diana has a vision of Katie being chased and making the crucial mistake of out loud, while hiding from an evil demon, saying,
Somewhere to hide.
Dumb.
Stupid.
Even if his whole shit wasn't poorly fulfilling wishes, you're trying to hide, right? Talking to yourself while hiding is ill-advised. Oh, I wish I had some place to hide. But the Djinn is like, ha-ha!
Your wish is my command.
No one will ever find you in this mouse cage.
Nobody will find you in there, my dear.
Because the mice will eat you. Except someone who will definitely see her. There's like a dozen mice in there. How much girl do we think a single mouse could eat? Surely it's less than a 12th. And yeah, look at that. They literally find her. Djinn literally did not fulfill her wish, even in a haha evil misunderstanding way. She said something, he ignored it, and he killed her. For that, I sentence you to getting a flag thrown through your body by an angel. Random cut to an establishing shot of the building we're already in, and that we just now realized, oh my god, we forgot to establish this. Like mid-action scene.
Katie?
And we're treated to yet another little fight scene. But it's not called Fight Master. Like, what are we even doing here? Like, the Djinn even gets his hand cut off, but it's fine because he's really more of a mindless T-1000 at this point than a clever demon thing, and it grows back. Oh, and speaking of, he runs as fast as a car and jumps on it like Timu 1000. But he forgot that car badassery runs in Diana's blood, and she flips the shit out of the car. Too bad the movie isn't called Flip Master. It would have won all of the Oscars then. Anyway, she saves Greg before he explodes all the way back to heaven, and we get to watch Djinn self-repair yet again. They run to the roof, and Diana's all hopped up on badass vibes, so she tries to badass herself off the roof. No! Because if the Waker dies, then the Djinn can't enter the world or whatever bullshit rules are in play now, but Djinn catches her. So they just sort of hang there for a while until the Sword of Justice is like, okay, you've earned me because
Suicide is badass.
No! And it flies over to her and she stabs Djinn and rides his body to the ground where he dies. Wow, defeated with logic once again. What a clever twist. The Djinn never considered that Diana would become worthy of a magic angel sword from an anime store on eBay by her willingness to literally kill herself by jumping off a roof. I mean, that's on him, really. What an idiot. How did he not see that coming?
Dumb.
Stupid.
Seriously though, abandoning the clever, seemingly innocent wish that fixes everything and defeats the Djinn premise is just kind of pathetic. It was the one thing that set Wishmaster apart from all the other butt horrors out there and gave it sort of an identity, which here they exchanged for a sword. It's like if the Queen's Gambit ended with the main character decapitating her opponent. Yeah, technically that would mean she won, but it would feel a little incongruent with everything leading up to it.
It's your game. Take it.
I killed that vampire!
Although, that said, if somebody remakes that series with that ending, I will watch it twice. This is probably a bad example. That'd be so sick. Diana also dies, but it's fine because the angel, like, you know, magics her back to life and then disappears, leaving behind Greg's Greggy body.
Damn, Greg, you are killing it.
Wow, and her intimacy issues are completely conquered?
I love you.
This has been much better than therapy. And think of all the money she saved. And now you can too with better help. I'm just kidding. I turned them down, and now Dave hasn't eaten in 3 months. God, I hope this video has 1 trillion views. Notice I said hope instead of wish. I did learn that lesson. I also want a sword. Those are the 2 things I've learned.
Greg.
Okay, you know what? I think I'm just gonna blow myself up with this grenade.
I wish you hadn't said that.
Oh my God, is this the Angel Michael's electric guitar?
Sure, but you still don't have a pick.
Oh, but I'm so bad with my fingers.
Well then.
Ah, fine.
Fat wallet.
And a fatter dick.
Ooh, original intro text suggests we're going back to this series' roots, baby.
Fear the Djinn.
We are back!
I'm expecting alcoholism, OSHA violations, and cameos from the stars of horror.
I waited 10 years.
But no. Instead, a boy and a girl buy a house and found footage their sexual escapades with some mildly shocking early nudity. They're just pounding away, fulfilling her prophecy so hard that they literally break the bed. Then the boy draws her like one of his French girls, and interestingly, he's forced to take some creative liberties with her crotch and stomach area because all of a sudden she's covering those up, and he apparently refuses to draw exactly what she currently looks like. If he wants to add a little more crotch and a little more belly button, far be it from me to criticize a fellow artist.
Took me like 3 hours to finish the shading on your upper.
Oh yeah! Fast forward 3 years, and Lisa arrives at her nerdy lawyer's house.
Hi.
Hi.
Come on in.
Thanks.
He's trying to help her sue the pants off somebody over some accident. And if her pants came off too, well then, that'd be okay with him.
Sorry, God. Wow, if bad timing were fatal, that'd be roadkill, huh?
Well, even still, last night, Lawyer Boy went on one of his classic
all-night web surfing jags.
And he bought Lisa this weird-ass random box that Slippery Lisa, as they called her in high school, immediately drops.
Nice hands.
Classic Slippery Lisa. Lisa has a few visions and is like, I actually don't want this.
I just don't want it.
Although I don't think anybody would want it, visions or otherwise, but also a jewel popped out. So Lawyer Boy's like, okay, but how about I get this appraised? And she's like, whatever. I'm early 2000s hot. Like, my butt is flat and I have tons of guys trying to give me precious stones. So I'm just gonna leave so I can brush my teeth for an hour.
Okay.
Anyway, embarrassed Lawyer Boy plops the jewel in his safe after hitting his all sevens password. And man, what an embarrassing downfall for our Djinn. Going from historical sites and museums and universities to now a thirsty lawyer's sad web surfing jag. Our Djinn is out of juice.
Wow.
Back at the original house, it's revealed that Sam is confined to a wheelchair thanks to the aforementioned accident. And in case you were wondering, no, his penis doesn't work.
Is that what this is about? Sex?
Obviously. Literally, the only two things we know about you are that you liked sex and sexy sketching after sex.
Always about sex.
And I love being an artist.
But even without that, whenever something bad happens to a movie character, my first question is always, does their penis work? It took me so long to finish Avengers Infinity War. When all those guys poofed up in ash, I was like, what about their penis? Wait. It's just like a dick. But does it work? Does Spider-Man's penis still work even without the rest of the Spider-Man? But, oh, okay. Sam just sits there brazenly doing a web surfing jag of sad, unsettling porn right in front of Lisa? Well, that's a fun character trait.
How can you love me when I
suck? Back at Lawyer Boy's house, though, the Djinn shows up curiously again a few hours late and looking for the person who awoke him from his stone. But like, if he'd showed up when Lisa was there, this movie would have ended in 5 minutes. And isn't that a world you want to live in? It's just funny, the Djinn is always like aroused, but it takes him like 5 hours to get out of the damn thing. Why does it take him so long? Whatever, Djinn convinces the lawyer to wish.
I wish you would stop talking in riddles and tell me exactly what the hell it is you want.
So the Djinn rips his face off. He's like, don't you wish there weren't any riddles? And he's like, yep. And he's like, this, then riddle me this. Rips his face off. You're like,
your identity will offer me easy access to the Waker.
yes, that's obviously true. Who are you talking to? Interestingly, this time, the Djinn not only knows who the Waker is, he knows literally every single thing his host body or whatever knows.
I was hoping we could spend a little time together. On one of my all-night web surfing jags.
That would have been so helpful to the last 3 Djinns. Maybe they've gotten an upgrade since the last one was basically a robot anyway. It's a software update. Oh, more random nudity.
This is a very interesting situation.
Just pointing out in case you're listening to this video while doing house chores or you accidentally left the browser open at work. Nudity here! Get your nudity here! Your coworker's watching a nudity video at work! I know that there are people that watch these videos at work, and I'm really hoping that they accidentally like unplug their headphones. Your coworker's watching boobs!
Hey! Am I interrupting something here?
But then the Djinn busts in and is like, who wants breakfast? And Sam obviously declines because a nice omelet would cheer him up way too much. And his thing is that he's mopey and he sucks ass and is paralyzed.
Getting some mileage out of that, huh?
At least I can still do that. Well,
nobody could be mopey with melted cheese and sausage dribbling down their chin. It's gonna be just black coffee for Sam's black, sad, porn-infused heart. So instead, Lisa and Djinn hang out at his office and hey, if he knows everything and she has no clue that he's an evil genie, why not just get her to make 3 wishes real quick?
Ah, yes. The strategy.
Even better, make the wishes good wishes. Don't make her wish for a juicy steak cause like a cow to fall on her ass first or something. In general, each movie would have been wrapped up way more quickly if the Djinns just didn't make their wishes suck so much. I've spent a lot of time talking about how stupid these rubes he takes advantage of are, but he still keeps losing. He's thousands of years old. It's like constantly getting outsmarted by babies. I get that sometimes it's more fun to be like, haha, speak more clearly, you idiot. But you only get so many shots to bring your Djinn bros into the real world, so maybe rein it in a little bit. If you just granted 3 wishes like genuinely, then it'd be over. They would have conquered Earth 1,000 years ago.
Don't believe everything you read.
And actually, this Djinn sort of does attempt that tactic. He's like, hey, Lisa, what do you wish would be the result of our legal strategy?
I wish that you could make them settle this case.
He's like, boom, done.
I can't believe it.
Oh, believe it.
It's a good thing she didn't say, I want those guys to be paying out of their assholes, because that would have been really hard to watch. $10 million in ones. Ah! But because he always has to be extra, he does force the other side's lawyer to hack all his face parts off until he signs the settlement and faxes it over. He then has the guy shoot himself in the head. And okay, is this gonna be legally binding?
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal.
Okay. Yeah.
I would hope that if I was found with my tongue ripped out, my nose cut off, several deep grooves hacked into my face, and a bullet in my head, that somebody would say, hey, maybe this guy was forced to sign this legal document, and or, hey, maybe this guy wasn't exactly in his right mind when he signed this legal document, as evidenced by how he ripped off his own tongue and cut off his nose and shot himself in the head. Plus, can a lawyer just unilaterally decide to give up? Does he not have to consult a client or something? I don't think the lawyer can be like, oh, by the way, I just gave them 10 million of your dollars. Yeah, sorry. I had a work thing. Honestly, they were making me cut my face off, and I just decided it'd just be easier if I just gave him 10 million of your dollars. I hope that's okay.
Maybe they had a lawyer consultant on this movie to make sure it's...
I'm sure they did. Each one of these movies seems very clear legally. But whatever, that's for legal wonk dorks to sort out. Let's just give Lisa, like, I don't know, super nice calves and a jet ski and wrap this movie up before the half-hour mark.
Go home, get out of here, go share the good news with Sam, okay?
What? What are you waiting for? Why drag it out? You've been trying to make this happen since at least 1127 AD. I'm starting to think that losing is a kink for you.
I can't let you do that.
It's done.
Surely you've edged enough by now? Dave, I'm talking to you. Please, can you put the salad dressing back in the friendship fridge? You're distracting me from making my video.
I love my job.
Sorry.
She just did a wish. She doesn't even know that that's what we're doing. Just finish it off. What else do you wish for? Coffee? Great. Nice teeth? Done. Haha, we've taken over your realm.
Yeah, well, it's been fun.
Whatever. Lisa heads home and tells Sam the good news, but...
Great. Now we can start arguing about how to split it.
He still sucks. Not literally, though. Mr. Oh, I can't have sex anymore because my dick don't work. But like, it's $10 million, my dude. You could buy a robot dick with that money.
That's the least you could do for $10 million.
Once again, Jen shows up. It's like, who wants dinner? But Sam once again declines.
Wow.
I know! Who wouldn't want to eat food while this random woman belly dances right next to you while making awkward eye contact and random people just make the hell out at the next table over?
Would someone kiss me like that?
I'm just trying to eat here.
Oh, interesting. It looks like all those accusations of being gay have really gotten to the Djinn because although, yes, every dude in the restaurant kisses this waitress on the lips, all the women only peck her on the cheek.
What are you, some kind of or something, huh? Is that it?
No, he's not. That's what he's showing you. Man, he cannot win. During dinner, Lisa makes another wish.
I just wish Sam could walk again, you know?
And although it looks like Sam's in a lot of pain, it again seems to be effectively exactly what Lisa asked for. Honestly, this is kind of refreshing. The monkey paw principle is back. People make wishes without a second thought and suffer the unintended consequences. This is exactly what made the first Wishmaster movie, well, I wouldn't say like good, but at least watchable. Good. So one more wish and we're done, right? Just do it? No? How are you gonna even leave this restaurant with your huge giant blue balls? They're not even gonna fit through the door. Well, Sam, since we're alone.
I didn't fall in love with your legs, Sam.
I fell in love with your penis.
It takes more than 2 good legs to satisfy a woman like Lisa.
All I ever wanted was for us to just each other like we did before.
And now that's potentially back in action. Oh, you're going to the strip club?
And it only cost me $1 a dance.
Great. Why everybody leave Lisa? Lisa is the best. You know this. Look at Lisa. All Lisa do is love you and make sad faces. Love Lisa back. Once you go Lisa, you'll never go Teresa, which I assume is the name of one of the strippers. Turns out not a lot of things rhyme with Lisa, coincidentally.
We're not married.
Hey, did you know that Lisa's co-owner of the lingerie store she runs is known as the Oppenheimer of boners? Bonerheimer, if you will?
I'll work up his chart and I'll give you an ETE. Estimated time of erection.
The world is not prepared.
Anyway, the Djinn comes in and invites Lisa over for another date because he's trying to pivot this franchise more toward rom-com.
You better be careful, Lisa.
Honestly, I don't know why. He keeps taking her on all these freaking dates. Just ask her to make a wish, you idiot. Just do what Dave does when he doesn't want to pay for a meal and just take your pants off while screaming, "Don't you wish I just left?" It works every time.
You know, I couldn't agree more. In fact, that's why I'm here.
Stop trying to meet cute in your meat suit. It's a lot of ways to get her to wish. She doesn't know that you're an evil genie. But no, here we are, and the Djinn busts a move.
You know, I think the wine just went straight to my...
Despite being inches from conquering Earth and becoming its king and being able to do whatever he wants whenever he wants. Like, what is the problem? Is he catching feelings? Well, Lisa certainly is.
I wish I could just love you for who you really are.
What does that even mean?
The third wish.
Yeah, sure, but who is he not? Like, we know that he's an evil genie, but what do you think he is? Are you, like, hoping he's secretly 3 raccoons in a trench coat? Are you a trench file? A raccoon maniac? And who said anything about love? You're still with Sam, right?
And it only cost me $1 a dance.
Now, I thought the twist at the end of this movie was going to be that she either was talking about Sam or maybe herself in some convoluted way, but no, she's literally talking about this lawyer that she's been on 2 dates with while she's actively cohabitating with her boyfriend who, granted, brazenly web-jags sad porn and uses his miracle cured legs to walk straight to the strip club to spend all of his $10 million in singles. But it's hard to imagine that she's both on the precipice of new love and has reason to believe that the lawyer guy has some sort of hidden self that's holding her back from badassing herself off of love's cliff.
I want you to leave.
Oh, that's fair. I respect that. A few other Djinns pop up and are like, oh, that was her third wish. Just grant it, you lazy bitch, and we can conquer Arby's headquarters first, because obviously that's our favorite food. We're disgusting.
Fulfill the prophecy.
Eating Arby's, eating Arby's, eating Arby's, eating Arby's.
We are brothers.
But Djinn's like, I can't, because her wish is a conundrum in that only she can grant that wish.
Human love must be given freely, or it isn't love.
Okay, well, filibuster.
Meaning that we've officially now got a weird rom-com pivot situation where I, for some reason, need to trick her into falling in love with me.
Shut the f*** up, shut the f*** up. The hunter has been awakened.
And he's gonna try to cut Lisa's head off with a sword to protect Earth, maybe? This is like cops robbing a bank so that no criminals can do it first. If you're a hunter with a sword, why not kill the Djinn? What are you gonna kill Lisa for? So those are the stakes now, apparently. And all because he couldn't just trick her into wishing for like a really cold Sprite or something, like a normal Djinn would. And like any good male romantic lead in a shit-ass rom-com, the Djinn heads to Lisa's best friend to ask for advice.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't bother you with this.
It's okay.
But why doesn't he just steal her face and everything she knows? It's not like this love cuffing is preventing him from doing that. Then you could put the lawyer face back on, you know, just have like a whole suitcase of faces. You could be the Agent 47 of genies. And it'd be so fun.
Well, I don't know about that, but...
But no. And anyway, like any good female best rom-com friend, she says that Lisa needs
killer sex, pushing it past your butthole.
But the Djinn gives the friend killer sex with herself, which is giving me major Dave flashbacks. You know how many times I found Dave halfway up the wall, writhing with equal parts pleasure and pain? It's too many times. Back home, Sam comes home horny from the strip club, which is so romantic. So he goes down on Lisa. I'm just kidding, it was a dream.
I was having a nightmare. We were making love and the weirdest thing happened.
We were just dancing in between rounds of cunnilingus.
In actuality, Sam is channeling his horniness into a sculpture that has no facial detail, but immaculately realized feet. Do we think he's super into feet because he was paralyzed? Or do we think paralyzation was especially hard for him because he was already into feet? I wish I could know.
Oh, yeah.
Djinn next solicits even more romantic advice at the strip club. You're a genie who's been alive for thousands of years. You have to know that that's not useful. I'm starting to think that this whole movie was just an excuse to get into a strip club with cameras.
Because if so, you are succeeding.
That's what makes the world go round, my friend.
Again, when you make a good movie, it's how do we connect all the women in various states of undress to something that technically qualifies as a plot.
Do you think this makes me look too fat?
Only in the...
And the advice that he receives is about what you'd expect.
What do you suppose would make a woman like that fall in love?
Fat wallet?
And a fatter dick.
Oh my God, yeah, ladies love fat dicks particularly. It's all about the fatness of the dick. For most ladies, they want that shit looking like it's got dick-a-beaties. That's what women like.
The Zeppelin.
The dirigible. The bartender then makes an interesting deal.
I'd sell my soul just to be a pimple on her ass.
Which firstly, who talks like that? And secondly, it's bad enough that his life is now effectively over.
Enjoy the view, brother.
But also, he's marring this poor girl's butt skin? And what if she pops him? He should have said something like how he was wishing to be the friction in her jeans. I'm just curious how Djinn would pull that off. It seems like it would require some serious science.
Doing science.
That's what makes the world go round, my friend.
Anyway, Sam meets with Djinn at the strip club because I guess this town like doesn't have any coffee shops. Like, why Why would you meet there? And honestly, Sam should just buy this place at this point. I mean, he did actually just get $10 million. Djinn again fails to prove that he's not some evil twink.
Would you like to have sex again, Sam?
I have pornographic movies in my apartment, and lubricants and anal nitrate.
If that's what you wish.
He keeps being like, I can make that happen. I can make you have the sex. But it's not immediately obvious that he's talking about
Wish for her and she's yours.
And anyway, Sam is like, no thanks. I'll stick to my web jags and strip clubs. So Djinn claims that he banged Lisa.
Yeah, I touched her too, and I gotta tell you.
Stinky!
You probably don't remember that, do you, Sam?
And then the stripper does some fire eating. You know, we already paid her full day rate, so might as well film her toplessly performing something. Does she have any other random skills? Can she ride a unicycle, juggle, recap terrible movie franchises? Well, then back off, toots. That's my corner.
That is a good way to lose your hand, my friend.
Djinn gets thrown out of the club for touching the polymath stripper and is again accused of wanting to kiss boys.
Is that what you wish me to do?
My heart says yes, but my butt says no.
And then a guy punches him for a bit. Until the guy says,
I wish you'd put up a better fight.
Granted.
And then we briefly get 30 seconds of an R-rated Power Rangers episode. The other Djinn pop up again and again ask,
Why do you continue to delay?
Just to let us know that they know that nothing that's happening makes any damn sense. Them and us, the audience, we're the same. We're both trapped in hell with no escape. By the way, the hunter, yeah, he's still hunting. Also, he seems rude.
Good morning. My name's Jennifer.
You, Jennifer!
He finds Lisa and says what I've been wanting Dave to say to me this entire time.
You must be killed now.
But Lisa's not into it, so she badassedly flips her car, implying that she and Diana are sisters.
Man, it just got bigger.
Then Lisa runs through the woods at an honestly incredible speed. I mean, the hunter can apparently run as fast as a car, but he can't catch up to Lisa on foot. Badass. Run away, Lisa! Oh, hey, it looks like the Djinn can catch up too, so we do a little more Power Rangers.
Prophecy will be fulfilled!
Even though he's literally brought a stick to a sword fight. Except, oh wait, then Djinn says what I always say when I'm babysitting my nephew Hunter and it's past 7:30 p.m.
Playtime is over, Hunter.
Then, like me, he turns his magical jewel into a sword and kills Hunter. I was not ever asked to babysit again. Though to be fair, there's no longer a Hunter to babysit. I also understand why the Hunter was hunting regular ass humans instead of the Djinn, because the Hunter kind of sucks. He got his butt wrecked. Also, that's the end of the time constraint, right? Like if the Hunter's dead, then the Djinn has the rest of Lisa's life to seduce her and bring about the end of the world. He could solicit love advice from every strip club in the state. But no, he heads to Lisa's house because I guess she's not gonna call the cops about the guy who tried to kill her in the woods with a sword. And she finds a goodbye letter written by Sam. Presumably, the letter also asks for his belongings to be sent to the strip club. I think he just lives there now. And Djinn shows up with flowers.
I was on my way to bringing these
when the mystical being attacked you with a sword and you badassedly flipped your car, and then I Power Ranger fought him in the woods until I murdered him?
That's very sweet.
Djinn just trails away, but I'd like to hear him finish that sentence in his own words. Talking's over though, so he kisses her and the piano gets all sexy because there's nothing sexier than an early aughts flat butt slapping keys at random.
Piano players are sexy.
Ooh. Very sexy idea. Then they very clearly dry hump for a while. Oh, good thing no one wished to be the friction in her jeans. Until the Djinn comes and is immediately like,
do you love me for who I really am?
Which I'm positive would not be advice that he learned from a strip club. Because after all,
there's a lot more to love than just great sex.
Wait, what?
Like for example, fat wallets and fatter dicks. Also, twist, he wrote Sam's goodbye note. The tip-off should have been the lack of stripper glitter on it.
You had no right.
I did it for you, for us.
And so Djinn starts exploding the house. But again, there's no rush here. Maybe just buy her some more flowers with your fat wallet and then do some more dry humping with your fatter dick? I feel like he never really gave the fat dick strategy a chance.
You said it yourself. You love the way it made you feel.
He's a genie, right? Can't he make his dick as fat as a dirigible? I mean, he can do whatever he wants, I assume. He can be like, don't you wish I had a big fat dick? It's just like, I don't know if I'd say it like that.
There's a lot more to love than just
big fat ass rhinoceros dick.
Why do you think I stayed with Sam for so long?
But no, instead he tries to metaphysically gaslight Lisa by showing her his true form and being like, I'm not a Greg. I only suck and am nasty if you choose for me to suck and be nasty.
I am only a monster. If you choose to see me as one.
And besides, I can make you a forever queen. Queen? And then, oh shit, Sam shows up with a gun. Oh man, the Djinn is so screwed now, dude.
Ha ha! A gun.
Oh yeah, right. The Djinn becomes Sam and also Lisa. I guess he's just feeling out what she's into, but he's not stealing their faces. So is this a new power he has? Could he also just make his dick impossibly fat? Just like a full-on tuna can?
Now that's a bit too easy, isn't it?
Or could he just steal like only the dick part of people now too? I don't know, there's a lot of things, a lot of questions that need to be answered. But anyway, Sam gets worried about whether he could compete with the chicken of the sea dick guy. So he's like,
I wish I had a way to kill you.
Granted!
And poof, he gets a cool sword. But oh my goodness, it is heavy. Possibly as heavy as a fat dick. I wish we had a way to compare the two. Movie, you coward.
Now you have the meat.
And in fact, the Djinn stabs Sam with the sword and is like, Lisa, give me your love. But at this point, is that how love works? She has to give it freely or whatever by this movie's logic. And even with her astonishingly terrible taste in men, I just feel like emotionally, she's gonna struggle to get there with everything that's going on, with the house exploding and guns going off and people getting stabbed. Like maybe we should just take a break and cool off. Maybe watch a show on Netflix, order some pizza, or...
Love you.
Okay, I guess you could just become Sam for a second. That's also an option. Except, oh shit, the real Sam sort of lumbers upright, unbeknownst to Djinn version Sam, and Lisa pushes them together.
You gotta tear me apart, Lisa!
And that kills the Djinn and also Sam. So Lisa goes outside to experience some flashbacks to that literal one time Sam didn't suck all the ass in the world. Wow. Poignant. Another Wishmaster movie ending with a stab instead of a clever wish. You can't even call the clever wish bit the franchise's thing now because it's appeared in the exact same number of movies as sword stabs. I think this series could be called Stab Master and be just as accurate. Okay, I think I get it now. I want my wife to appear with me in Jewel World and we'll perform an incredible song there.
All right, fine.
Wishmaster, won't you grant me a wish? Won't you slake my desire? Won't you bring the world to its knees? Wishmaster, I need you tonight. I've seen the red jewels dance in dying firelight. Wishmaster. Take me back to the beginning before that colossal wreck. Lay boundless and bare by the waves of the sea. Take me back to before I became impure. Wipe that pain off my face. Give back the lives I stole. Wishmaster, won't you grant me a wish? Won't you slake my desire? Won't you bring the world to its knees? Wishmaster, I need you tonight. I've seen the red jewels dance
right. I don't think there were any ill effects.
Check your pants.
Oh no, it's so fat.
Yeah, chicks love that.
Is Mr. Daytime here?
I hope not.
I'm still here.
You had a weird morning?
So what?
Why are your pants tucked into one sock and not the other?
Don't worry about it, man.